lot farther. Growing up, I really had beef with my father. But why bother explaining my feelings? Try harder, but either way, they gon' paint you the villain. 8 months with no phone, dog, we aiming for brilliance. High level, maintaining the building, we making a killing. Alright, my flow cynical.
For my money, it's the best time of the year, playoff football time, as postseason action descends upon FedEx Field just outside of D.C. Tonight we continue with Wild Card Weekend with what should be a great one between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC Wild Card game. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
Okay, break.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
I thought he did a nice job there setting an edge and make sure nothing could get to the outside. But he decided that wasn't enough for him. Worked his way back inside and made the tackle on the ball carrier.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Throwing is Hurts. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And it's Washington that scoops it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
From the 36, Hurts. He's going to drop this down to Sanders. It's an Eagles first down on a gain of 11. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
On first down, Hurts. And once again, this is Sanders. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go. And sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. That good for 19 and a first down.
Good running right there. And this is a man who was a 1,000-yard rusher in the regular season, so you know he's going to get his chances. And he picks up nice yardage on that one.
So first and goal and an opportunity for our first points in this wild card game. Sanders is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. So a good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field, took it downfield, put the ball in the end zone. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Wentz bringing the Commanders out for 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. 87. They'll start on the ground with Gibson, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Wentz to throw. Over the middle, he gets it to Gibson. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 3rd down and 6 to go. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Back to Gibson and another catch for him. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Tress Way on 4th down is sent out to punt. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. This is fielded at the 27. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights on in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. 6 DBs on the field for Washington on 3rd down. Hurts sets up to throw it. Got a man, it's Brown. And he is going to have an Eagles 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. To throw on 2nd and 6. Hurts. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. And he will bring this one back. An interception return for a Commanders touchdown. Joey Sly on for the extra point. He's got it, and they take the lead at 7-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Hurts now hoping to make up for that pick six. He's got a man complete. Touchdown, Philadelphia. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Elliott good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and
and
now
out.
they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. Throwing on first is Wentz. Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. It's a pickup of 12 and a Commander's first down. Very nicely done there on the reception. And what an impact this rookie made on this offense, Charles, in the regular season.
Yeah, he's a big part of why they are where they are. He stepped into an important role in break.
Gibson gets hit, and he fumbles it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. On play action, it's Wentz. Catch here, left side, Thomas. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 24-yard line. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
from the 22. Wentz rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. It's Nakobe Dean with a pick. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick six TD. Elliott on for the extra point. And oh, he clanks it off the right upright. And it's no good. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They've got to be a little shell-shocked. Down double digits at home in the playoffs. Still in the first half. They've got to turn things around quickly. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Gibson here running out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable third down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
74. 315.
Wentz now to throw. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
At their own 29-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Looking to throw on second down. Hurts into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
Here we go.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone.
And this one almost intercepted. Had a chance to come down with it in the end zone, but could not hang on.
That was nice work there defensively to force incompletion. Now, even though this drive started in plus territory, they're still not in field goal range yet. So they can work towards another couple of stops and not allowing that turnover.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there. throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
Well, still early in this one, Charles, but the last time this offense was out there, they threw their first interception of the ball game, so trying to avoid repeating that mistake here on this drive.
And to put a positive spin on it, at least it happened in the first half and not in a close game in the fourth quarter. But you're absolutely right, partner. One of the last things this offensive quarterback wants to witness again in this game.
Kind of an obvious question, Charles, but anything you try to avoid.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. And the Commanders are going to take over at their own 28-yard line.
Well, I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you've thrown this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down.
But they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Taking a shot for Samuel. It's caught inside the 25. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. Play action. Now Wentz. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
Well, this defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stressed the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
81, 81. Great 57. 57.
Wentz to throw again. Thomas brings it in.
Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts
as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now Wentz. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Kaiser White.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. CD, when he went to throw that, I'm not sure if he just didn't see where the defense was. Whatever the case, not the throw you're looking for on first and goal.
Not at all, because, look, let's face it, that close to the goal line, if you throw an interception, is going to hurt on any down. But really, the only down you can kind of live with is if you do it on 4th down. The first 3, if you don't have it wide open, just get rid of it. Make sure they can't get it and live to fight another down. First and goal, and you throw the pick, not good at all.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going deep for Brown. And incomplete on the deep ball. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth ready for quarter number 3. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Xavier Rhodes with a pick.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
Okay, ready?
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Another run here with Sanders.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
18, Pioneer.
Here's Hurts to throw. He's got his target. That's Zach Pascal. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Sanders. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 10 more there and another 1st down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. Touchdown, Eagles. Mercedes Lewis. A 7-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles continue to pull the playoff surprise as they lead big here on the road.
Elliott good with a PAT. And that will make this a 19-point game. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Wentz going to throw. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Avonte Maddox.
And the Eagles are going to take over at their own 41. Well, still down quite a bit here, several scores. But, yeah, at least that's a start, Charles, getting the interception here. And, look, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so this thing not done yet.
You're right about that, Brandon. This defense, they haven't quit on this game. They stayed with it and got an interception and handed the ball back to their offense. And what you wonder about is a team that just threw that interception, they've got to be careful about developing a sense of complacency and thinking this game is over.
On 2nd down and 4. Hurts, caught, right side, it's Lewis. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean that's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college. With all the spread offenses, not very many pro style where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Throwing is Hurts. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Third quarter, wild card round. Thanks for being along for the playoff ride with us. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wentz. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. Completes it to Samuel. And he'll be taken down, but they've got this one up to the 35-yard line. On play action, Wentz. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Throwing is Wentz. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the safety, Jarquiski Tart. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 68 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times. They'll run with Sanders. Showed off the toughness, but still corralled shy of the 5 at the 6. He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. They'll go again with Sanders. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
I have to laugh a little bit because he actually handed it off. I thought with the 2 touchdown passes he's thrown in this one already, he'd go ahead and fling and try and get a 3rd one.
Yeah, now from this spot on 3rd down, I think he'd probably throw it here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about it. They won't even send in a running play here, I don't believe. I think they go ahead and try and throw it for a touchdown.
Make that now 3 straight 2-yard gains.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the 2nd score there. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so, and maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. They are most likely staring at a cold end to their season here in this wild card round. Nothing has gone right so far, and they are, and my goodness, another interception. Xavier Rhodes with a pick. He stiff arms him. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line. So that changes things. You get the interception, and then to boot, a good return tacked on.
And really it was down to him versus the quarterback on the return, and that's one you would think the defender would win. But a nice job there of seeing the play all the way to the end and making the tackle by the QB.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. They'll run with Sanders up the middle.
And boy, this burgundy and gold defense charged up now. They stop him behind the line again.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
So Hurts is off, and on comes Jake Elliott for the Eagle field goal.
From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Elliott is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, they come through with 3 after forcing the turnover. But CD's second half, you're starting inside the red zone. Obviously, they would have liked 6 out of that.
Absolutely, because that's all you're thinking is how do you get it into the end zone? You want the field goal to be the last resort. In this case, they gave it a great try, but did have to settle for 3.
Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something that...
And this is caught at the 20. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Wentz. This one left side caught by Gibson. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Here's Wentz to throw. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. They'll go. It's Gibson. And I'm not sure he got there. Did they stop him? They did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And they'll take a knee as the clock ticks down toward 50 seconds to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And they will take a knee here. And the Eagles season will continue at least one more week. Thanks for watching, and so long, everybody.